Hey everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Mindy Banks. I'm the Flip Flop Chef, and today I'm going to show you how to make chicken enchilada soup and a citrus berry smash mocktail. Of course, you could add alcohol to it if you like, but I'm going to show you the non-alcoholic version today. As you're joining me, I hope you will use the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you're watching the replay or if you're watching live. Today we're going to make a slow cooker chicken enchilada soup. So I've gone ahead and cooked the portion that takes a while because that's not convenient for TV, right? So I'm gonna take the lid off of my Rock Crock slow cooker here so that you guys can kind of see a little bit about what I've done already. So before I started the video, which was this morning, I added about 2 pounds of chicken tenders. You could use chicken breast, you could use chicken thighs, whatever you prefer. Added those into the slow cooker, and this is the 4-quart Rock Crock slow cooker with the slow cooker stand. I added 2 tablespoons of Pampered Chef's carnitas slow cooker seasoning. I wanted to give this a little bit extra punch, and so I decided to add the carnitas slow cooker seasoning in. Then I added 3 cans of green enchilada sauce and 24 ounces of chicken broth. So not quite the whole box, 3 cups instead of the 4 cups in the box here. So I'm gonna set this aside so that you guys know what I've already done and get that out of the way. We're gonna use the carnitas seasoning again, so I'm gonna set that aside for now. You could cook this on low for 4 hours, or you could do high for 6 to 8 hours. I did high, excuse me, I think I said that backwards. Low for 6 to 8 hours or high for 4 hours. I'm gonna take our salad choppers and I'm actually gonna chop the chicken right here in the slow cooker. So I'm gonna zoom in so that you can see what I'm doing. And you'll notice that this is a full pot. So I'm gonna be kind of gentle here so that I don't slosh this around. But you can see, if you've never seen these salad choppers before, I'm just shredding the chicken with this. I went ahead and added in just a few grape tomatoes. I'm one of those kind of cooks that I don't really measure a lot. I just kind of throw things in. And I had some tomatoes that were on their last leg. They really needed to either be eaten or thrown in the trash. So I threw them in here just so that I don't waste them. I hate throwing away food. So I'm just gently shredding the chicken inside of the pot with the salad choppers. So the salad choppers, you'll notice this kind of has a rounded edge here. It's not gonna scratch the Rock Crock. And if you're not familiar with our Rock Crocks, this is one of the most versatile pieces of cookware available to you anywhere, not just from Pampered Chef. The Rock Crock can go on the stovetop, in the microwave, in the dishwasher, in the oven. It can go on your grill, your smoker like a big green egg. You can use it just about anywhere you want to use it. So I'm just gonna make sure, I had lots of chicken in here, so I wanna make sure I got it all chopped up. And then we're gonna add just a few ingredients to this, and I'll leave it on warm. So I cooked this on high for about 4 hours, and I just switched it over to warm, and I'll leave it that way until I'm ready to serve this for dinner. All right, let's see, I've got a little piece of chicken stuck in here. Let me zoom back out a little bit so that you can see what else I'm gonna add to this. So I've got 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. Go ahead and pour this in. So this is gonna make this nice and creamy. If a little cheese is good, a lot's better, right? So I've got a block of cream cheese in here. I'm just gonna gently set this in there. And I'm just gonna let this kind of sit for just a little bit. And then I'll stir it up a little bit more. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and put this cheese in. So I have 2 cups, what's more like 3 cups of shredded Monterey Jack cheese. You guys know me, I always say if a little's good, a lot's better. So we're just gonna pour all of this in here. It's gonna be nice and full. So we'll have 4 quarts worth of soup here. So that cream cheese is gonna melt. The Monterey Jack cheese is gonna melt. And this is gonna be amazing. All right, next I wanna show you guys how to make the tortillas. Oh, I forgot to put the green salsa in. So let me add a half a cup of green salsa. I'm gonna use the jar opener here, slide this across the top, give it just a push, and it's going to, normally it doesn't throw the lid right off, but today it did. But it's gonna release that vacuum seal. We're gonna do a half a cup of green salsa and just leave that where it is. Okay, so I'm gonna slide this lid out of the way and make a little bit more space here. And I'm gonna show you how to make these tortilla chips. So If you saw in my recipe group yesterday, I shared the recipe for how to make tortilla strips for this soup. So I went ahead and made these ahead of time so that you could see what they look like, and I'm gonna show you actually how to make them. So you can hear how crispy these tortilla strips are. So this is gonna make a really great topping for the soup. And I do recommend that you add more cheese, sour cream, all that good stuff on top of the soup. Let me grab a cutting mat. I swear I grabbed one, and I didn't. All right, so we're gonna take 3 tortillas and our pizza cutter. And remember, if you haven't, let me know if you're watching live or if you're watching the replay. Use the comments, let me know where you're watching from. And feel free to join my recipe group if you're not already a member. You'll find that at theflipflopchef.com, and I'll have this recipe in that group. So I'm gonna just take the pizza cutter here. I'm gonna zoom in so that you guys can see. I'm gonna slice this into thin strips. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see. So these are super thin. I'm not really worried about straight lines. I can't draw a straight line, much less cut a straight line. Just make sure you pay attention where your fingers are. We're gonna cut these into these skinny strips, and then we're gonna cut straight down the middle. I'm gonna put these in a mixing bowl, spritz them with some oil, using our kitchen spritzer. I'm gonna add some carnitas slow cooker seasoning, and we're gonna cook these in our deluxe air fryer rotating basket. All right, so just gonna slice this in half here, add these into this mixing bowl, and then I'm gonna take our kitchen spritzer. If you've never used this before, it's pretty cool. You're actually just gonna pump the pressure in the bottle until it's nice and tight. Okay, and then it's gonna spray like an aerosol can. So I'm gonna mix this up just with my hands. Make sure we get these nice and coated. I have found that just using my hands is so much more efficient than trying to use a spoon to stir them and make sure that they all get coated. I'm gonna take our carnitas slow cooker seasoning, which is the same seasoning that I have in our crock pot right now. Sprinkle this, use my hands again, get all of this coated. You can see I'm not really measuring, just go by color really. And then we're gonna add these into the air fryer basket. So you're just gonna pop the basket open, and I'm just gonna toss these right in. You can see how easy this is. Oops. And then I'm gonna put this in my air fryer back here. So hopefully you guys can see my air fryer here in the back. I'm just gonna slide this in. Let's see if I can do this from this angle. Okay, so you can see I kind of can like wiggle it side to side. I'm gonna turn this to the rotisserie setting, which you probably can't see from where you are. Hang on, let me zoom in. It's default to 45 minutes at 400. We definitely do not want to cook this for 45 minutes. They would be burnt. So I'm going to reset the time to 8 minutes, 400 degrees, and press start. The little icon that lights up saying that this is rotating is on, so I know the basket's rotating, but you can also open it up and you can double check, and I recommend that you double check that it is rotating, because if it's not rotating, you're not going to get the proper, it's going to burn. Let me wash my hands, get all that oil and seasoning off, and then I'm going to show you guys how to make the citrus berry smash cocktail. So what do you guys think so far? Are you excited to try this recipe? Have you ever tried one similar? I know there's so many variations out there for chicken soup and enchilada soup, all these different variations. I'm just gonna give this a little stir, see if I can get those cubes of cream cheese to melt. I'm actually gonna move this back over to low. I started on high, we're gonna put it on low. I think it'll get a little bit, it'll melt a little faster. One thing I didn't tell you, when you're done using your kitchen spritzer, you wanna burp it, okay? Just release the air and put the cap right on. All right, citrus berry smash mocktail. You guys are gonna love this. You can make it into a cocktail if you wanted. I went ahead and did the prep ahead of time, so let me zoom in here so that you can see what I've done so far. This is the 1 quart quick stir pitcher. I love the quick stir pitchers. I have 2 of the gallon size, and then I have this 1 quart size. In here, what I did last night so that this would have time to really kind of get all those flavors meshed together. I have 1 cup of lime juice, 1 cup of basil simple syrup, which I'll be happy to share the recipe for this mocktail, and it tells you how to make that basil simple syrup, and about a cup of blueberries. So this is technically a half of a recipe, but I used the mix and chop actually to kind of crush these blueberries in the bottom of the pitcher before I added in the liquid. And then I've just sort of plunged this a few times since last night just to sort of help get that real pretty pink purple color, because otherwise if you make this and you don't let it sit overnight or sit for a few hours, it's not going to be this pretty color. It's just going to be sort of a like a blue tinted water. What we're going to do is we're going to add 2 cans of grapefruit flavored seltzer water. So if you wanted to make this into a cocktail, you could buy like the Trulies or add vodka or rum or whatever you like, but we're going to make this non-alcoholic and the kids can actually enjoy this one. And this is a half of a recipe. Anytime I'm using something that's got a spritzer, like fizzy drink, I don't want to make so much that it doesn't get finished up before it's flat. So we're going to add 2 cans of the grapefruit seltzer water, and you can get really creative. You could use lemon juice instead of lime juice. You could use a different flavor seltzer water. You can make this in lots of different variations, and we're just going to give this a couple plunges. You'll notice that I have lots of fizz here. Don't go to town on this. If you do, then it's just going to fizz right up over the top. So that's the citrus berry smash cocktail, and we have the chicken enchilada soup in our rock slow cooker stand, and then we have the crispy tortilla strips to go on the top. I will post this in the comments so that you guys have the recipe. You can make it at home. You could also make this in your quick cooker if you wanted to. Just remember our quick cooker, the slow cooker setting is more like a high setting instead of a low. So you would want to make sure that you time that right based on which products you're using. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Let me know if you have any questions, and have a great afternoon.